Hey guys, it's Zach, and today for Hope for Master Ball, we are going to work a little bit more with our size spam team with Trick Room option. I've been testing out a team on ladder, so I've played a couple matches last night, but I do actually want to test the team on Showdown. That's actually the team right there. And by the time you are watching this, there will be one more hour left in the Alolan Marowak giveaway. So I am giving out 2 Alolan Marowaks with 0 speed, and then 10 Alolan Marowaks with 5 IVs. So go ahead and check the link in the description and check that out if you're watching the video as soon as it drops. I will be using the comment picker to pick winners by noon. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And this team has been doing okay. It's just like when you're this low in Master Ball, you're coming across some weird stuff, and I realized that while testing the new team that I made. So I want to test in Showdown to get a more actual, like, closer to what you would see in a competition. And here we actually have a mono ice team. So we have Frostlass, Lapras, Galarian Darmanitan, and Mr. Rhyme, Alolan Ninetales, and Alolan Sandslash. So I feel like Trick Room could be strong here, and I definitely want to run Alolan Marowak and Conkeldurr in the back. Unfortunately, Porygon 2 really doesn't have that much use outside of setting Trick Room, because we carry Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. None of those moves are hitting these Pokemon quite too hard, except for the Lapras. And I don't know if I necessarily want to do that with Lapras carrying Weakness Policy, or potentially carrying Weakness Policy. So they're going to go ahead and start with the Hyper Offense. So we're probably going to see the Roar Veil set up, and we may see the Sandslash max. So what I want to do now is I just want to follow me and go ahead and set the Trick Room. I want to say we'll probably see potentially a Max Quake come out. Steal a Roller, so you're actually getting rid of the terrain and hitting Indeedee very hard. And you're actually going to not set up the Veil here. And we see that the Ninetales is actually Life Orb. So here's just a really good time to bring in Alolan Marowak and start getting some max flares off. One, to change the terrain. And then we're just going to have to Ice Beam the Alolan Ninetales for some chip. What item is on Sandslash, though, if your Alolan Ninetales is the one with the Life Orb? Because usually we see the Sandslash carrying the Life Orb for Slush Rush, extra power, and heavier hits. And we see the Ninetales usually carry a Focus Sash so it can get up the Veil no matter what. And it's probably still going to get up the Veil, so that's something we're going to have to look out for. And we might see this Sandslash switch out, because it's threatened very hard, yeah. So we're going to get a Flare on the Lapras, so that's not too bad. So now our focus goes onto that Lapras. We want to get out as much damage as possible, because I want to say if the Ninetales isn't carrying the Focus Sash, then we're probably going to see it. We actually see it protect. So we're going to see the Lapras get up the Veil. And that does great damage. So here I want to Quake to get a defensive boost. And then once again, just hit this Ninetales with an Ice Beam. I can't use Thunderbolt because of Lightning Rod. And we're actually going to see the Lapras protect, so they're just trying to stall down our Trick Room and our Dynamax, which is a viable strategy. So the Ice Beam will come out from Porygon, get some chip damage. And you're going for the Blind Hypnosis. So that is something we have to worry about. And we're actually going to see Mr. Rhyme. I just want to Max Flare again into the Ninetales. And try to go into the Mr. Rhyme here with Ice Beam. A lot of these Pokemon have the potential to set up screens, so this is a really interesting team. And Mr. Rhyme's going to actually go for Fake Out. And we are still able to KO the Ninetales through the Protect, especially with the Sun Up. So there goes their Sun Setter. Not their Sun Setter, their Hail Setter. So what's interesting here is I want to see how many turns of Trick Room are left. I believe there should be one. Yes, there's one more turn of Trick Room. So I actually want to I'm getting some lag on my thing. I actually want to double into this Mr. Rhyme because I want to see the Sand Slash is going to protect. And no, we're actually going to see it we're going to see it Dynamax here. So we do have to worry about a potential Shadow Claw. But if it doesn't protect, what we do here is we just try to set up Trick Room again and give Conkeldurr the opportunity. And we do see that the Mr. Rhyme has the Focus Sash, which is why we doubled into it. Which is weird that you can hit an opponent with a Focus Sash and it's still going to activate. And here we just see a Max Quake. Who do you target into, though? You do target into the Alolan Marowak. So here, what do? Do you just go for the easy knockout, or do you try to prevent Trick Room? So we're going to see a Max Quake come out, and I wonder who they target here. So you do target the Alolan Marowak, and you are getting special defense boost, I believe. Yeah, special defense. But with the Conkeldurr in the back, we really shouldn't have to worry about that. And we're just going to get Trick Room up again. Sun goes down, and the Alolan Sand Slash has one more turn of Dynamax. So what I want to do here is I just want to Drain Punch for super effective. And just Thunderbolt into the Sandslash. You could Max Guard here, but you're just delaying. You're just delaying the Drain Punch. I wonder how much a Drain Punch is going to do. This is an Iron Fist Conkeldurr, so punching moves are boosted. Unfortunately, we won't get any HP recovery because and we're able just to knock it out. So really cool mono ice team. You just have a bad matchup when you see Alolan Marowak, especially with like Conkeldurr in the back with priority Mach Punch and all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the next battle. Okay, and we have our next opponent, Prima Diva. And here we see definitely some Sun Hyper offense. What I'm worried about is like the Whimsicott, Cinderace lead. And I think Alolan Marowak, even though we won't bring the Trick Room, having Alolan Marowak in the back will be pretty good. We could see Gothitelle lead because of the threat of Trick Room. I could see an Imprisoned Trick Room coming out from Gothitelle. Also, that Cursula can be really bad if it's kept in the back against my physical attackers in the back. So we're going to see the Cinderace and Gothitelle. And the Psychic Surge is going to protect us from a potential Fake Out from Gothitelle. But I'm worried about them going Max Darkness. So here I just want to follow me. And let's Dazzling Gleam. Because if the Cinderace goes for a Dark type move, we will be able to hit it just a little harder. And we're actually going to see the Helping Hand, so they want to guarantee the knockout on NDD turn 1. And we actually outspeed the Cinderace. And we see the Max Steel Spike, so you're trying to stop. And we see that the Cinderace is Life Orb. So here I actually want to max. I'm worried about a max Airstream though. So I think a Phantasm will help out the best. And once again, Dazzling Gleam is going to be our best choice, even though this Cinderace is now a Steel type. This isn't really looking good. But if you go for that Max Darkness, trying to knock out the Alakazam, we could revenge with the Alolan Marowak. We're just going to see another helping hand from Gothitelle. And we're getting decent chip with Alakazam, but Alakazam isn't really doing much of what it's supposed to be doing. And we see the Max Airstream, so I'm really glad we didn't go for the Max Quake. And that does over 50% to our Alolan Marowak. But we see a speed boost, so the Cinderace is now going to be able to outpace the Alakazam. And I think here I just want to max guard. And I just want a Dazzling Gleam again. Now that the Cinderace is guaranteed faster than the Alakazam, I am worried about a Max Darkness just canceling out Expanding Force. So hopefully they went into... No, they did go into the Alakazam, so they made the right play here. So here going into Rillaboom, Dynamax is over for the Cinderace. So we could get a potential Fake Out, which should be enough to give us the knockout. We are max attack. And I think even though it's not the most optimal move, using Max Quake into the Gothitelle will give us a special defense boost, which is probably something we're going to need. And at the range that the Gothitelle is at, that might be able to just knock it out. Depends on how bulky this Gothitelle is. So the Fake Out does knock out the Cinderace, and we should get a decent Max Quake. And we'll see a Psychic into the Rillaboom. We didn't get the most out of Dynamax because of the fact that Alolan Marowak had to protect to preserve it. And really, with the play they made, we could have attacked, but it wasn't worth making that call. They knew the safe play was to protect the Alolan Marowak, so they knew they could go into the Alakazam. So here we'll see the Whimsicott and the Corsola. So the Rillaboom I just want to go into a Grassy Glide because right now I want to make sure that if I do get the Poltergeist off, we can still use it. And we actually just one-shot. So Poltergeist will come out into the Whimsicott. So Grassy Glide here will just get the priority and be able to knock out. I'm actually surprised we managed this matchup very well. Seeing a Cinderace lead is very scary, I think. I think they should have went for the more offensive front with Whimsicott getting the tailwind, the speed, and preserving that Marowak, even though it was a predictable play and they called it. We were still able to just stall out the potential that Cinderace gets when it's Dynamaxed. So special attack and speed. So because our Mons were physical, we were just able to really take care of this Corsola, and it actually doesn't have Strength Sap. So this is more of a, it's a weakness policy. So it's more of a sweeper. So thank goodness we left the Rillaboom in the back, and we went with a more physical front. Guessing it's Shadow Tag. Yeah, it's Shadow Tag. I didn't even think about switching out. So Imprison, Trick Room, Psychic, Helping Hand. I mean, with this Gothitelle and its speed, 85, it would be good if you kept expanding force on it and just use that to counter like NDD hat leads. But I think I'm going to leave it off here, trying to make these episodes a little shorter. They've been more on the longer side, doing 3 matches. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Would you rather see 20, 25-ish minute episodes with 2 matches, or would you see closer to that half-hour mark with 3 battles? But anyways, we were able to pick up 2 wins, which is not something we've been doing a lot on the series, but getting more comfortable with the team and just getting into better luck. Also, if you had to run a mono team, what type would you pick? Because so far, Alolan Marowak's been across a mono grass and a mono ice, which do not fare well against Alolan Marowak. Not to mention, I am doing the Alolan Marowak giveaway. By the time this video is published, you will have about 1 hour left to enter, and I'm using the comments to pick a winner. I have 2 Alolan Marowaks with 0 speed, Brave, Lightning Rod, and then I have 10 with perfect IVs in the speed, Brave, and Lightning Rod. So if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description. And the best way you can support is by liking and subscribing, and also having those conversations in the comments down below. But anyways, I'm Zach, and I will see you guys in the next one.